Hey, hey, let me see if I am. I'm trying to also get on Instagram. So let me do this really quick. It's been a while. I hope you guys are doing well. It's your girl, R. Marie, healing and transformation coach. So let me just get Instagram going. It has been a while since I've done a video. Okay. Hey, G. I didn't forget about you. I will reach out to you today. Okay. I'm not sure what is going on with Instagram. I'm trying to get them on. I'm going to try one more time. And if not, then we're just going to go with it. Okay. So I'm not sure if my Instagram family is on or not. I hit go live, but we shall see. But anyway, so I wanted to get on and do this video. It's been a while. I've missed you guys as far as doing videos and that sort of thing. But I definitely want to start back doing more videos. And so yesterday I posted about my firstborn. Hey, Shantina, thank you for joining. About my firstborn, Reese Madison, who was born on yesterday. And she lived for 2 days. And so tomorrow will be the anniversary of her death. But I wanted to get on and talk about when I needed an intervention and how that all went down. So I'm just going to kind of get you guys all in my business today. But I'm doing that because I know for one that it will help somebody. And that is the whole goal. That is my entire goal, is to use my life as a testimony, my experiences as a testimony, so that I can help others heal, so that I can help others experience transformation. And so some years ago, when that happened, 13 years ago to be exact, when that happened, on the outside, I looked good. I looked like I had it, was keeping it together. But I needed an intervention, and I did not know that that's something that I needed. And so something that happened, I never forget, my mom was in town, and I don't remember all of the particulars if I knew my sister was going to be there, but my mom was in town and we were going to a restaurant to eat. And I knew my mom was acting just a little bit awkward. Like something was on her mind, but I, was just like it was another day. And so we were just going to get something to eat. And when we got to the restaurant, my sister was there and about 5 or 6 of my closest friends were there. And so I'm kind of like, because I didn't know they were going to be there. So I'm kind of looking like, okay, well, what is all of this about? And so, we order our food, we start eating, and everybody's just kind of like, we're talking, but I'm like, why are we all here? Why am I here? Why are my friends here? Why is my mom and sister here? And I had no idea that other people will be joining us for dinner. And so then my sister starts talking, and she starts to say that, why we're here. And she said, with tears streaming down her face, I will never forget this. She said, we're here because I wanted everybody to be here because I know that you've lost your daughter. I know that you're experiencing pain. I know that. And we're here because we want to help you through it. And she said some things that she saw that I was doing, that she knew was a result of my pain. She knew that me trying to keep busy all the time was a result of my pain. Me avoiding talking about it was a result of my pain. Me avoiding people and being around people and talking to people socially was a result of my pain. And so she was able to see these things about me because obviously she's very close to me, right? And so she was able to see these things in me that I could not see in myself. And why am I sharing this? Because sometimes when we go through pain, when we go through hardship, when we experience trials, when we experience loss, when we experience these things, a lot of times we begin to act and behave and think as a result of our pain. We operate from that place. And so everything that we do, everything that we think, our actions are all a result of what we've experienced. And if we're not careful, we will begin to live from this place of pain, where pain is guiding the way. And I made a post yesterday that sometimes it is necessary to ask God's forgiveness for worshiping our pain. Let me tell you, our pain is not greater than the God we serve. And we can get in such a low place that we begin to worship the place that we're currently in. And what does that look like? That looks like we put our pain before God. We allow our pain to guide our actions, to guide our thoughts, to guide our norms, to guide who we are. And so we come from that place. And until we realize that, and sometimes it takes a good sister friend, sometimes it takes family, sometimes it takes a spouse, sometimes it takes a church member, sometimes it takes a pastor, sometimes it takes someone that cares about you enough to say, look, I'm willing to help you and pull you out of what it is that you are currently experiencing. And so I needed that intervention. But I'm going to tell y'all, at first, when I realized why we were there, I was not necessarily happy about that, because I kind of felt like, oh, okay, so everybody here for me, and they kind of about to tell me about myself. And that's kind of what happened. But they did it in the most loving way possible. But at that moment, I was not necessarily happy to receive it, but I received it. I received it. I did not attack back. I did not say anything like, oh, now y'all tried me. Y'all all up in my business. Why are y'all all here coming up against me like that? I didn't say any of that. Now, those thoughts were definitely in my head, but I did not say that, any of those things verbally. But what happened after that conversation is I was able to take what they said at face value, go home and sit with it, pray about it, take that thing to the foot of the cross. Because there are some things, y'all, that we're going to experience that takes us to such a low place that we have to put it at the foot of the cross. And we have to allow those ashes and those things that we're trying to bury, that we're trying to avoid, to be put at the foot of the cross. And God uses people to help us do that. So as I sat with those things, I began to realize I needed this intervention. I needed to hear what they were saying to me. I needed to hear those things in love. I needed to know that they were concerned about me enough that they didn't necessarily say, well, you know what, we're just going to avoid talking to her. We're just going to avoid this situation. We're going to avoid telling her that we see the pain in her. No, they met me where I was, and they did it, but they did it in love. And I so still remember that day. I so respect and admire them for being there for me in that way. And so I needed that intervention. I needed that round table discussion. Honey, we had our own. This was before the red table talk. Y'all know Jada Pinkett. This was before that. We had our own red table talk where we got real. Well, they kind of told me about, listen, this is what we're seeing, A, B, C, D. And I know that you lost your daughter. I can't even imagine that place. And one of the things that I love about how they did it is that none of them had experienced what I experienced. And so all they could say is, I can imagine the pain that you're experiencing because they don't know that firsthand. And so some people who may be trying to help you, they may not know your pain firsthand, but they can see your pain in you. And so they can still help pull you from that place. And so that's what that is all about, that they were helping to pull me from that place that I was in. And it showed me that, you know what, there are some things that I am shrinking in. There are some areas that I'm shrinking in. There are some areas that I'm avoiding. There are some areas that I'm trying to do too much and trying to stay busy because I don't want my mind to be idle. Because I know that if my mind is idle, then I'm going to be focused on my pain. And so they were able to move me to a place where I was able to see what realm I was operating out of. And I was operating from a place of pain. And so I needed that intervention. I appreciate my sister, my mom, those sisters so much because they cared about me enough to say, listen, sis, you don't have to go through all of this on your own. We're here. You don't have to bottle this pain inside. We're here. You don't have to pretend to be busy. You don't have to pretend like you have it all together. You don't have to pretend like this thing is not affecting you. We know and we can imagine just how much and how real that hurt is. And so I needed that intervention. And so years later, in my post yesterday, because it's always an interesting day, even if I'm not thinking of the date on the calendar, I can't even explain it. There's something in me that identifies with that loss on the 14th. Like yesterday, it was just an interesting day. And then I was going about my day, and I had a couple clients yesterday and going about my day. And then I ate something, and immediately I felt like I was just about to vomit. Like I had such a terrible headache that just came on me all of a sudden. I had to lay down. I was just not feeling myself. And I started thinking about what this day was like for me 13 years ago. Y'all, when we were in the hospital, we had finally gotten some sleep because for 2 days almost we hadn't slept. And they were saying, you know what, you need to try to get some rest. You need to try to rest. And so I tried to do just that. And I remember this like it was yesterday. The nurse came in and said, we need you down. We need you down in the NICU. So they put me in the wheelchair, rushed down. My husband's walking beside us and rushed down. And I knew because up until that point, they had told us, her lungs had collapsed. We had signed the paperwork for them not to resuscitate any longer. You know, and so I knew that that time was near. And what happened at that point was our family had been there the entire 2 days, both sides of our family, my husband's family, my family. They had been there with us, and everybody left to say, you know what, you guys need to get some rest. They went home to freshen up. We're coming back. And at that time, when it's just my husband and myself, we held our dear daughter, Reese Madison, in my arms, and my husband holding on as well. And she breathed her last breath as I was holding her. And that was 13 years ago. And I could not get that vision out of my mind. And just the thought of God, we prayed about this for so long. And we had people praying with us that she will pull through this. And for whatever reason, God did not allow that to happen. And so I was a mess for years. For years, I was a mess because I just could not believe what I had just experienced. And so maybe whatever you may be going through, you're in disbelief that, God, how did this even happen to me? This is just not the life. And none of us would plan for pain, if we're honest. None of us will say, you know what, well, I'm just expecting this day to come. No, no, that's something that none of us naturally do well, is handle pain, handle the shock factor, handle the disbelief. So none of us naturally do those things well. And so I was just in disbelief. I was embarrassed. I questioned my relationship with God. I questioned who God is. I questioned all of those things because I was just not expecting for that to go the way it went. And so, fast forward to now, 13 years later, I can appreciate that intervention. I can appreciate that hard love for me that woke me up, that made me realize what place I was operating out of, made me turn that thing around and give it to God and say to God that even if I do not understand why this happened, I know that you're going to use it for your glory. And He has done just that. I would not be here as Armory Healing and Transformation Coach had I not experienced the death of my daughter. I would not even, this business, this ministry would never have been birthed had I not experienced the things that I've experienced. And so I needed that intervention. And so that's why I cling to the scripture, Psalms 27:13. As I was going through that whole thing, I just kept saying, God, I have to believe that I am going to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. I'm going to see that. I'm going to see the fruit of my prayers. I'm going to see the fruits of even this pain. I'm going to see this pain birth purpose. I'm going to see this pain birth ministry, all because I changed my mindset towards what I was experiencing. And so I just wanted to get on to encourage you to not be so willing to attack back when somebody's really trying to help you. Because sometimes we don't realize the realm that we're operating out of when we're in the midst of it. And so you need that person to come alongside you and say, sis, listen, I know you're hurting, but I can see that you're hurting. Everything you're doing shows that you're hurting. What you're saying, what you're thinking, how you're acting, how you are in your relationships, how you act on your job, how you parent your children, how you are a spouse to your husband. I can see it. I can see it. I don't know what you're going through exactly. I've never experienced it. I can only imagine your hurt and pain, but let me help you not operate from this place because God wants so much more for you. God has so much more purpose for you. And I promise you, if you yield to it, you will see that God will even use your pain and turn that into a purpose for you. It may birth ministry. It may birth, something that you're able to testify and be a blessing to other people. And so take that intervention. Don't fight against it. Don't buck against it. Take it with love. When people are trying to love on you and speak truth to you, take it. Take it in love. And so I hope that this helped you. I just want to get on. Like I said, I missed you guys. I definitely want to do more videos. I know that I have been posting, but I do miss getting on, being able to engage with you all. If you're catching the replay of this, go ahead and hashtag replay for me so that I know that you came back to watch this video. If it helped you in any way, let me know. If you've had that intervention, you've had some sisters that have like taken you and said, no, we're going to pray for you. We're going to, pull you out of this. We're going to tell you some truth about yourself. Let me know. How did that feel for you? How was that experience for you? What did you learn from that experience? You may even be saying, listen, I need somebody to give me an intervention right now. I need an intervention right now. And so that is what, to me, coaching is all about. It is not keeping or allowing someone to stay in the same place. It is discipling them, is really what coaching is. Coaching is helping someone to be accountable, walking them alongside their journey. Okay, so you know how in church and you go to the altar and you may have said the salvation prayer, right? But then you leave from church and you're like, okay, I'm saved, but what do I do? This is something completely new for me. Do I just pray? What do I do the next time I'm tempted? What do I do when my friend says, okay, let's go to the club? What do I do? Because it's a new experience, you don't know what to do. So a lot of times healing for us is a new experience because we don't know what to do after we've gone through the trial. We don't know what to do after we've gone through whatever it is that we've experienced. And so my whole role as a coach is to walk you through that process, to give you the tools to help you heal well, to help you become whole, to help you experience the refining work of Christ, to help you get in alignment for whatever assignment He has for your life. That is my role as a healing and transformation coach. So thank you, Shantina. I'm glad that you love this. Um, and so that is what I wanted to share with you all today. So I hope that you all have a great rest of your day. Be great. And again, I want to hear from you. Let me know how this video helped you, how an intervention has helped you. Let me know. So I look forward to speaking with you soon. Have a great day.